Greetings, universe. We are about to gaze out upon the horrors of the cosmos. Thank you, From Software, for this game we are about to play. This is Bloodborne. A game that I'm really excited about playing. I've played the main game itself before several times, and I downloaded the DLC for the first time a week or so ago, and I played through that, and oh, it's just so exciting.
Oh,
So,
yes. Pale blood. Well, you've come to the right place. Yharnam is the home of blood ministration. You need only unravel its mystery. But where's an outsider like yourself to begin? Easy, with a bit of Yharnam blood of your own. But first, you'll need a contract.
alright, character creation. First off, a name. I didn't think this through. Ah! Yeah, sure, MW, just like the little dog that jumped on my lap suggested. Alright, gender, female, age, mature, origin, let's see, milk a toast, lone survivor, troubled childhood, violent past, professional, military veteran, 14, 13, my vitality is terrible. Noble Scion, Cruel Fate. Cruel Fate is apparently one of the standard choices for its low blood tinge. I'll go into what the stats mean later on, but basically, all these choices, what they do is determine your starting stats and how many blood echoes you start with, but you don't need to worry about how many blood echoes you start with. That's pretty much a combination of cash and experience, and you're gonna get so many of them over the course of the game that the amount you start with doesn't really matter. I think I'll go with milk a toast. Yes. Now, appearance, age, voice, build. Let's go with burly, base skin color. Woo. Now that's a frightening skin color. Maybe it's just the lighting. Let's go with this. Face details. Glasses. Gotta have the glasses. Let's see. Yes. And there we go. Finishing making the character, let's go finalizing the contract. I am playing online, so I can interact with people online, which mostly involves calling for help or people showing up to kill me. But more often I can find notes that others have left behind, leave notes myself, and I can witness how other people have died, which can sometimes provide a clue as to what's up ahead or what to look out for.
Good. All signed and sealed. Now, let's begin the transfusion. Oh, don't you worry. Whatever happens, you may think it all a mere bad dream.
Wait, what? You may think it all just a dream? What's gonna happen? No, something horrible's gonna happen and you're just going to pass off as a dream, aren't you? Jerk. Okay, okay, so, what's going on here? Uh, Sitting up a little bit, everything's all woozy. And, oh hey, there's a huge puddle of blood I haven't noticed before, and some kind of horrifying wolf creature is rising up from the blood. This isn't normal. At least I hope it's not normal. No, get back! Back! Someone lit it on fire. Right in my face. That is terrifying. And the blood is spreading. The blood has covered the entire floor as far as I know. Oh! And what are these little monstrosities? Well, I say these because I know already that there's more than one. Ah! Back off! No! I like the touch at the end of just a little hand
You
reaching
found yourself a
out.
hunter.
Okay, so, I guess that was a dream. I mean, there's no evidence of the blood puddle or anything. So, I've been in this, clinic for who knows how long. And wow, this is a poorly unkempt clinic. I mean, considering what happened, I could have been here for a few minutes, a few hours, a few months. Who knows? So, let's see here. Handwritten note. Seek pale blood to transcend the hunt. So, that is my objective. It was mentioned in the beginning there with that old man with the hat, too. That I am looking for pale blood. I have no idea what this is. Oh, right. I have equipment that I want to tell you about. So, every piece of equipment, every item in this game has a little bit of lore attached to it. Black hood. Hood worn upon awakening to the nightmare of blood and beasts. Perhaps its wearer had to stay out of sight and travel by cover of darkness. Without memory, who will ever know? So this tells me that the character I'm playing as has no memory. Foreign garb. Clothing worn upon awakening to the nightmare of blood and beasts. Not typical clothing for Yharnam. Perhaps it is of foreign origin. It is said, after all, the traveler came to Yharnam from afar. Without memory, who will ever know? Sullied bandage. Bandage worn upon awakening to the nightmare of blood and beasts. Terribly worn out and unsanitary. Why am I wearing this? A faint memory recalls blood ministration, involving the transfusion of unknown blood. Not long after, the nightmare began. Foreign trousers. Trousers worn upon awakening to the nightmare of blood and beasts. Not typical clothing for Yharnam. Perhaps it is of foreign origin. It is said, after all, the traveler came to Yharnam from afar. Without memory, who will ever know? So, I wake up, I have no memory, I had blood ministration, where I was administered an unknown blood. So, considering that we didn't even check for blood types, I'm probably dying right now. This is my dying nightmare. R1, right attack, or attack, right hand weapon. So, I do that. What's this say? R3, lock on, release target. So clicking the right stick, or R3, allows me to focus the screen behind me. Oh, looks like someone died here. I'm going to die here too. Look at this thing. So, I will hit this thing with 2 points of damage. Yeah, alright, so I'm healing as I hit it because I got damage, but I can only heal up to the damage I received from the last attack I took, and I have a limited length of time to do that. So, also, the damage I'm doing is absolutely pathetic in comparison to the health this monster has. Perhaps if I press L1 to two-hand my hands and then hit with both hands at once. Yep, I was killed. This exists to teach you that death isn't that big a deal. I have died. Oh, hey, the loading screen. It shows us items and the text for them. Monocular. It's like a binocular, except only one. Inflicted organ. Inflicted organ. E. Alright, so now that I have been murdered by that beast which was feasting upon a corpse, I wake up in an entirely different place. Of course, since I am thinking that that first area was the result of some kind of fever dream, there's no reason that this can also be. Here is a doll. It has been abandoned. If I had the monocular, I could show you a tapping finger. Oh, look at this. The messengers, these little critters that we saw in the beginning, are called messengers. The messengers offer you a trick weapon. Choose one. Trick weapons are wielded with the right hand and employed in beast hunting. Alright, so I'm not going to take the threaded cane, it just doesn't interest me. So it's actually a legitimately difficult choice to pick between the saw cleaver and the hunter's axe. Like, the hunter's axe has more raw power, but the saw cleaver it does extra damage to beasts, and I'm going to see a lot of those early on. So I'm going with the saw cleaver. The messengers offer you a firearm. Choose one. Firearms are wielded with the left hand and employed in beast hunting. I've never taken the blunderbuss. I take the pistol because it fires more quickly. Like, the blunderbuss has less power, I think. Okay, yeah, less power but more durability. But the thing with the blunderbuss is it fires more slowly and shoots in a spread. I don't care about the power of these weapons. I'm not going to raise the stat that these weapons employ. I just use them for knocking foes around so that I can get a parry, a counterattack. A notebook received from the messengers. Leave messages with these loyal servants to share them with hunters of other worlds. I have got a notebook. So, personal effects, things that I have that I can access quickly. Okay, so here's my inventory. A hunter's mark. Dangling, upside down rune etched in one's mind. Symbol of a hunter. By focusing one's thoughts on this rune, a hunter loses all blood echoes but awakens afresh as if it were all just a bad dream. Later on I'll get what's called a bold hunter's mark, which does the same thing except doesn't zap my cash. Alright, and the notebook. Messengers are inhabitants of the dream who revere the brave hunters. Use them to send messages to other worlds. Leave notes with messengers. Read notes left to messengers in other worlds. And rate notes to reach out to hunters across planes of existence. Note, online use only. Cannot use this item offline. So you use this notebook. I'll use it right here to write a note. Let's see. Fear night. Sure. I can also leave a gesture with it. I'm not actually going to leave this note, but if people rate your note, you recover health. So these graves I can't use yet until I get a certain item, but these graves allow me to awaken from the hunter's dream at any lantern that I've found before. Until I find a lantern in an area associated with the headstone, it's just called an awakening headstone. But this one is called the Yharnam headstone, which awaken at a selected location in Yharnam. Well, that explains it succinctly. So, the first floor sick room. Let us return. Oh, the workshop haze extractor. I'm not going to go into the chalice dungeons this playthrough. I mean, I could, but they could almost be a game on their own, really. Ah, the hand lantern. I'll have to buy that. So, in the upper right corner, there's two symbols. The top one, the hunter symbol, shows how many blood echoes I have, and the eye symbol on the bottom shows how much insight I have. Let's see here. Oh, back step. And quick step. Options, open menu, that does this. L2, shoot, left-hand weapon. I'm not going to do that yet because that takes up my bullets, and I only have